What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. So today we are going to talk about something that I thought I have a grip on, and that is letting go of figures. And in the past, I thought I did a pretty good job on knowing when to let go of figures. I don't become normally attached to this because, as you can see, I have tons of them. As much as I want to keep all of them, you have to let go of some. It's not only for space but also for funds. Sometimes you just want to upgrade more figures to a better 2.0. But this event that we have right now, like this Catwoman right here, the Selena Kyle, it was an easy decision for me. My old one is kind of flaking. This one has a better proportion, better hair. So it's easy decision. I sold my old one and picked up a new Selena Kyle. Now there are figures that I guess they make the decision for you, like this Bane 1.0. As you can see, it's the pleather has been damaged. At the moment I held it, it just deteriorated in my hand. So instead of selling this for $150 or $100, I have this idea where also my other Batman, I'm just gonna put the unmasked head sculpt, and with this Bane, I'm gonna use the coat from my 2.0, and my 2.0 Bane is gonna be, bare. You can show the body. So now I have two Banes. Instead of losing $150 for each figure, I'd rather use them. But prior to this, we have the Avengers. For example, these guys. Back then, the strategy was you got to, this one, Avengers. You want to upgrade to Captain America before they announce, and they're going to announce a new Captain America. You sell yours, and now you get the Infinity War, and then from Infinity War, you're going to transition to Endgame, and now you get Endgame. So there's a cycle. Trust me, I kept all of these three Captain Americas, but I've held, I believe, every single Captain America known to mankind, and I also sold all of them. But now, where we have 2.0s, that they're doing that, they're reissuing figures. You have other companies like Inard and J&D and all those guys who are revisiting old figures. The strategy has become a little murky. Like right now, I have a feeling some of these figures are gonna be 2.0 or be made by another company, but for whatever reason, I'm having a hard time letting go, and normally I wouldn't have any issues letting go and selling them off. I guess the attachment is there, or the uncertainty is there as well. So let's start off with my number 5, and this is the Star Ace Leonidas. Now, Hot Toys made their own Leonidas in the past, and I missed that. I wasn't collecting back then, and then Star Ace made their own. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pick up the Star Ace one. It doesn't have a seamless body, but it looks pretty good, from afar. And I decided to pick this up. And actually, this is selling for a lot of money on eBay right now. I checked it out. It is like selling for $500. So I'm tempted to sell this. The thing is, I'm not sure if I'm going to get another crack at Leonidas. You can see the straps are still intact after, 5 years of owning this guy. The pleather on the belt. The body itself is still pretty pristine. Let's talk about the good stuff here. I think the head is somewhat serviceable, especially with the helmet on. And I know this is Star Ace. We want to pick on Star Ace all the time, but I feel like this one's pretty decent. Not the best, not the worst as well. And then it comes with a second head sculpt, an expressive one where he's shouting. Again, not the best, not the worst. You can also put the helmet on if this is not satisfactory to you, which I think, again, hides the likeness. But I like the fact that it has two expressions on it. So here, you put him on, and it looks pretty darn good. Now, as far as the downsides to this guy, joints. You see visible joints, but at the same time, they're not a big gap. Also on the back of the knee. On the shoulders, as you can see here, it is pretty tight though, but there's no movement. As you can see, there's no swivel in there. You can only move it up and down. The upside is you don't have to worry about long-term poses. Like if you're posing him, unlike a seamless body, you might have to worry about that. And look at the body itself, it's not the best as well. It looks kind of cartoonish. The proportion aren't exactly right, but nonetheless, for some reason, even though it's selling for a lot of money right now, I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger on selling this guy just to make space, or maybe hope that Inart or Hot Toys or somebody else makes a better version down the line. There was no indication right now, but I shouldn't be attached to this as much as I could, but I am. Moving on to my number 4 is Punisher. Now, logic tells me, and I'm sure this will happen, because we will have Born Again from Daredevil, and I'm pretty sure Punisher and Daredevil are both going to be there. But for whatever reason, and this guy is still, up there, not $500, but you can sell this for 300, maybe upwards of 270, 280. But it's still pretty good. Like, I can't get myself to part with this guy. Logic is telling me right now, sell it. It's better to sell early than sell late. The head sculpt is still pretty decent. It was pretty good on its time, but right now, if it comes out, I'm sure it'll be better with rolling eyeball system. The leather is still not flaking on me, and I washed this because I was afraid of the black that was going to stain the figure. Everything looks good. It has an array of weapons. The outfit is still pretty strong up to this point. I don't know. My number 3 is Daredevil. Again, at Born Again. I'm pretty sure they're going to revisit this guy. This guy is still going pretty strong with me. Now, there's a lot of things not to like about this guy. The proportions, I don't think it's there, but it's still a pretty darn good figure. As a matter of fact, I think this is a better figure than the Daredevil from She-Hulk. Yes, I said it, and the one thing that would redeem that is the unmasked head sculpt. And even at that, it's not even that strong in my opinion. This likeness, in my opinion, is better than the one that we have, the newer version for the She-Hulk. That's what makes me a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger on selling this guy. And it even comes with a second second faceplate in here, which is the non-battle damage one. I think this is Charlie Cox's faceplate all through and through, even with the battle damage there. I love the show. I love the show so much. You got some Billy Club in here. You got different items, at least the one that Daredevil uses. You have some sort of a diorama attachment as well. And you see there's a wired, that's not wired Billy Club as well. And then there's 2 versions of them, the split one. And you can see his outfit. It's still going strong. This is not pleather, more like plastic, vinyl kind of thing. But you can see after all these years, there's no damage. And it's still going pretty strong in the aftermarket. I think you can still sell this for upwards of $250. Number 2 is the Hulk. With the Red Hulk coming out, I'm sure pretty soon. Not coming out, being announced at the time of this video. I got some hope that finally they are going to revisit the Hulk. Now, this is the Hulk from Age of Ultron. They've done Hulk twice now. And this is the deluxe version. They haven't really gave any indication. Now, I've also had the Endgame Hulk, which the head sculpt for that is much more Ruffalo than this guy right here. But this guy looks like the Hulk. Like, even the expression, even though it doesn't resemble Mark Ruffalo, you know it's the Hulk. Like, I love this expression right here. If we can get the same expression, but with more resemblance of Ruffalo, that would be the ideal one. I don't know if there's one day we're gonna see Hot Toys with an artisan version of this. And mind you, even as old as this figure is, this one already has the rolling eyeball system that we all get from figures nowadays. And this one was expensive when it first came out. You can see here there's 2 joysticks right there that you just move, and you can see the eyes moving. However, the eyes are kind of inside, that you can barely see it on the camera, but holding it in hand, you'll be able to tell. But look at the teeth, the gritting of the teeth, the dirt on it. Even after all these years, the paint application, I think it's still pretty strong. The hair sculpt, the way they sculpted the hair, it's still beautiful. And it comes, when you get the deluxe version, a second screaming head sculpt. Still doesn't look like Ruffalo. The hair is almost the same. I think there's a little bit of difference in there. But this one also does have the rolling eyeball system. So 2 expressions right there, which is pretty amazing for Hulk because he doesn't really have any accessories. He doesn't even have a base. And he doesn't need one. He's flat-footed. He stands on his own. But the deluxe have a separate torso to resemble Hulk smash. So if you don't want to see those seams on the wrist and shoulders, this is the way to go. And I hope they offer the same thing for Red Hulk, because I think this is a great idea. You just need a second base so you have 2 Hulks. And my number 1 is Superman. This Superman from my childhood. This is my very first Hot Toys. And deep inside of me, and this is an old figure, and you can tell. Once you hold it, it doesn't stack up quality-wise to the figures that we do get now. Now, this is important to me because this is the first one that I have, but logic is telling me InArt is making one. I think they already showed it, the 2-pack. I don't know how much that's going to be, but I'm in for that as well. It's Superman. Any Superman, I want the best version possible. Now, the downside to this is you can see here, this is printed and mine is still in pretty good shape, but I've seen some where it started peeling off on the edge around this area, and you can see it just kind of coming off. The belt is rubber. It's not the best quality out there. The boots kind of looks like a toy as well. I don't know if this is the same material that they actually used. It doesn't look like it. The wrist pegs, you can see it's kind of short on the sleeves out there. The belt, the way it's looped. There's a lot of things that are old in here because this is an older figure. For the base, I'm so glad that Hot Toys gave us 2 bases here. One is the crotch grabber, and this is not even a deluxe. This is just regular, and you have the fortress there. And the head sculpt, as you can see here, the actual sculpt is still pretty good, but I think the paint application could benefit from the technology that we do have now, and I honestly believe that. You can see the painting on the eyes is a bit dated, and also this figure, and I fixed this. This is notorious for having the inner neck joint to be broken. Him, Hawkeye, Bane, I fixed all of those. This is a pretty easy fix, but still, if you don't, you look at the eyes right here and the eyebrows and like the eyelashes, it looks like a figure from 2010, 2011, and it is. It needs a 2.0, but I don't think I can sell this right now until they announce the 2.0. And there you go, guys. That is my top 5 that I'm having a hard time letting go, even though these 5 figures can actually net me some pretty good money right now. I guess it's also a coincidence that, it's not a coincidence, I mean, that I love these 5 characters. I love them. So I'm willing to take the chance. Maybe if I ever, it'll be Leonidas will be the first one to go. I don't know. It's just not the oldest one, but it's Star Ace as well. But even at that, I don't know. I'm finding a way to have 2 Leonidas. Like with Superman, I don't care if InArt makes one or Hot Toys revisit this. I think I'll just keep this, give him a suit or something so he's in a changing mode. I know the next one will be better to replace all these guys. But for some reason, I just couldn't let go on any one of them. On a trade, somebody's trading me InArt. I bought the InArt. I'd rather keep my Daredevil and my Punisher. But let me know, what is your experience to these kind of things? Do you have a figure in mind or in hand right now that you feel like, hey man, I should sell this while it's hot, but I just can't? There's something about the figure, even though I can sell this, create some space, and use that money to buy more figures. I couldn't let go, even though I know there's going to be a 2.0. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.